All right, it is confirmed. JP Morgan Chase is taking over the Apple Card, according to people familiar with the situation who spoke to the Wall Street Journal. And in this video, I'm going to give you all the details. Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. My name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel I cover credit cards, personal finance, and travel hacking. If you like the sound of that, please subscribe. But let's get into the video. So the Apple Card launched a few years back with Goldman Sachs as the banking partner. They have been losing money on it and have wanted to get out of the deal for several years. The Wall Street Journal had already published several articles about the long-running search for a banking partner to take over the card from Goldman, and it seems that now we have a conclusion to this saga. JP Morgan Chase reaches a deal to take over the Apple credit card. After more than a year of negotiations, a deal to take over Goldman Sachs' role in Apple program is expected to be announced soon. So that is the headline, and this is one of those articles that is according to people familiar with the situation. But the Wall Street Journal has been accurate in the past with this, okay? Their sources are good, so I think that we can say that this is pretty much confirmed. The companies just haven't formally announced it yet. Let's see some of the details of the deal that are outlined in the article. Goldman Sachs is expected to offload the roughly $20 billion of outstanding credit card balances at a more than $1 billion discount, according to people familiar with the matter. Yeah, that is a big discount, since normally when a credit card portfolio is transferred from one bank to another, it can actually sell for up to 8% over the value of the card balances, since the cardholders are paying interest. So it is a money-making asset to own, in theory. But in this case, Goldman is selling it to Chase at a $1 billion or 5% discount. And this is because so many people with the Apple Card have subprime credit scores, and that creates extra risk, okay? They might default on their payments and then Chase would lose out on that capital. Remember, Apple wanted to make it really easy for people to get the card at the beginning and force Goldman to approve a load of people with subprime credit scores. Let's keep reading. JP Morgan will issue Apple credit cards for both new and existing cardholders, the people said. The transition from Goldman, as is the case with most card deals, will take time. JP Morgan is planning to launch a new Apple savings account, according to the people familiar with the matter. Consumers with existing Apple savings accounts at Goldman will decide whether they want to stay there or open an account with JP Morgan, the people said. So we're actually getting a Chase Apple credit card and a Chase Apple savings account. It seems with the card, you will be forced to transfer to the Chase version if you are a current cardholder, but with the savings account, you will have a choice. And that is basically the extent of the news in this article. Apparently, Chase was negotiating with Apple and Goldman for a year, and it was all that subprime debt that was the sticking point. So with this discount, it looks like they found a solution to that. And although Goldman has taken a hit, they are probably just happy to get out of the consumer lending business, which they haven't done well in, losing over $7 billion in that department since 2020. Now, with Chase taking over, will there be any changes to the Apple Card? I expect the answer will be yes, with things such as new fees. Remember, Apple, when they started, they didn't want to charge any fees at all. And I'm not just talking about no annual fee, even things like no late payment fees, no over-the-limit fees, no foreign transaction fees, nothing, all right? If there are no fees, how can a bank make any money? I mean, I guess they have, transaction merchant fees, right? Transaction fees, merchant fees, and interest, but that's only part of it. There are also late payment fees, foreign transaction fees, over-the-limit fees, balance transfer fees, all sorts of other fees that banks make money on with credit cards, and they weren't allowed to charge any of them. So I expect Chase will bring in some fees on their version of the card. But Chase has a lot of experience, so I'm sure they're going to find a way to make the Apple Card work, maybe even keeping some of the current features. We'll look out for more information and a timeline on how the transition will take place in the coming weeks. Oh, and if you want to apply for the Apple Card, now is actually a great time to sign up, since they currently have a small welcome bonus. They normally don't have a bonus, but they currently have a small bonus of $75 for spending $75 in 30 days when you sign up. It ends on January 12th. That's not sponsored. I'm just letting you know. There's no link below, but you can search the card on Google and apply. And when the change happens, you'll get switched over to a Chase version, as long as everything in this article, the people familiar with the matter, is true. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts below. Please subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.